My own in charge. Let's go. Right, let's get this breakfast rocking and rolling. Fourth wall break. What's going on, man? How you feeling, bro? I'm feeling amazing this morning. Just had to do a lot of work, but I'm feeling amazing, man. Just been working on being where my feet are, bro. And it's been amazing, man. Not taking on nothing that's out of my control, just really honing in on being where my feet are, man. I just had to do so much work, bro. I had to get a new fridge. So I've been all morning. I had to swap out this stuff from this fridge and put it in the new fridge. It was a lot of work, but thank God for the wife. Thank God for a fridge that's working properly. But yeah, man, I'm doing pretty good, man. Just practicing mindfulness, bro. Practicing mindfulness. Mayday, Mayday. What's going on, Mayday? How you feeling? Yeah, just practicing mindfulness, man. Just being where my feet are. Not taking on problems that I can't control and not focusing on things that are out of my control. Tessa Decker, what's up? You know what I'm saying? So I'm practicing mindfulness all September. The whole month of September, I'm practicing mindfulness, man. So if anybody wants to join in on that challenge, being where your feet are is important. And that's what I'm working on the whole month of September. How's everybody in the world doing? At least you have a new fridge, yeah. Yeah, the fridge seems like the fridges with a lot of technology don't work very well. They have a lot of technology, but they don't work very well. Tessa Decker, you doing good? That's what's up. You got any goals this month, Tessa? Any goals you're trying to accomplish this month? That's my goal. My goal is to control the controllables and really, really be where my feet are. Juicil, what's up? How you been, Juicil? Control the controllables and be where your feet are. That's the whole mode for September, man. I'm locking in. It's gonna boost your mental health. It's gonna boost your spiritual health. It's gonna boost you as a person and your relationships if you stay where your feet are and control the controllables. I'm doing fantastic, Juicil. I'm doing fantastic, man. Just setting up some new goals for the month, man. How about yourself, man? How are you? How's your family, man? Let's go, let's grow. How are you and your family, man? Just trying to share some of this good thinking with the rest of the world, man. I'm not perfect at it, but I'm working at it. Get a nice plate here. I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm doing pretty good, man. Just getting breakfast started. Had a late start. Had to get a new fridge today. So when you get a new fridge, it's a lot of work just to get all that stuff out of there and change it up. You know what I mean? But it's all good. So we got the eggs right here. We're going to cook them over easy. We're going to make a nice smoothie to go with this. And we're going to make it a nice, productive day. You know what I mean? So the eggs are doing their thing. See if we can get these berries going here too. Where's it? How's everybody doing? Where's everybody from, man? How y'all doing? Got the berries in there. Let me get a little sourdough toast. Are you from California, Kenny? Shout out to Cali, bro. I'm in Florida. Shout out to Cali, man. What is the weather like in Cali, Kenny? Tessa Decker. What's going on, Tessa? Talk to me. What you got planned for this week, Tessa? I think the eggs are almost done. Coming out pretty good. Just how I like them. See if I can get these out of here safe and sound. Safe and sound. You ain't got nothing going. You ain't got no goals for this month, Tessa? No goals? What you trying to get better at, Tessa? Got some ground lamb here. More protein. Gonna couple that with the eggs. I ate way under my calories yesterday, so this breakfast has to hit with a bang because I am hungry. I didn't eat enough yesterday at all. Woke up starving like Marvin, but I had things I had to do. You know what I mean? So that is the lamb with the eggs. Lamb with the eggs. What's going on, mix? So as you just saw, that's some lamb with eggs. I got sourdough toast over here. Lamb with eggs here, eggs over easy, sourdough toast. And I'm gonna couple that with a smoothie. So here's my berries here. Unsweetened almond milk. All right. Let's get the rest of the ingredients to make this a nice, powerful morning blend. You know what I mean? So we're gonna go collagen. Good for your skin, hair, joints, nails. I take it every morning. Gonna go some mixed berry power beet powder. Gonna give it a beautiful color, but it's real good for circulation. And then last but not least, 2.5 grams of creatine monohydrate. 2.5 grams, half a scoop. And we're ready to blend that up, man. We're ready for the big blend. All right, let's see, the toast is almost done. Well, how y'all doing, world? I gotta put a poll question, man. Let me put a poll question. Do you set goals? Do you set goals? Yes? No? Here and there. All right, let's put that poll right there. Start poll. All right, there we go. Perfect. All right, the toast is toasting. I'm going to go ahead and blend this smoothie up. And then we should be set to eat and chat. And boom, smoothie's looking good. Just like that, magic bullet. All right, I'm gonna add a little butter on the toast. That way I can show you guys what the meal is looking like. I keep breakfast pretty consistent. I will try different things. But today, I'm just hungry, man. So I just want to eat. I don't want nothing fancy. I want good food, nutritious. That's going to give me some real good vitamins and minerals. All right. Let me show y'all what this breakfast is looking like, all right? So we got the Queen's Alchemy. What up? So we got the ground lamb, eggs, sourdough toast. You hungry? Yeah, I'm starving like Marvin. I'm starving. And then we got Old Faithful. Good Old Faithful right there is going to be faithful all the time because the smoothie is a gift that keeps on giving. I got to organize my fridge because I just got a new one. And boy, oh boy, new fridges are a lot of work. When you get a new fridge, you got to empty out the whole thing and put the whole thing back. You don't even realize how much stuff you have in your fridge until you got to take it out. You won't even realize it. Thank you, thank you. So we right there, boom. And we balance, baby. Uh, we balance. Let's do the smoothie check. Mm-hmm. It's perfect every time. Oh, you email me? Okay, for sure. I'm definitely gonna check that email. For sure, for sure. I think that would be a great conversation. I'm gonna just sit right here at the table and eat with the people. So yeah, Queen, I've been working Roger that. What's up? I set a monthly goal for do you set goals? Yes, I do. I actually set a monthly goal this month for the month of September. What's going on? Morning to you, Roger that. You ready for your next challenge, Roger that? I got another one for you, bro, if you're ready for it. So man, listen, for the whole month of September, man, I want to say it was an unction from God, I want to say, right? That really made me want to lock in to being where my feet are. You know what I'm saying? Not looking too far to the future, not looking too far in the past, but being right here where my feet are. You know what I'm saying? Literally being present, the power of being present. So, do I set goals? Great question. I do. That's where being where your feet are deep. Yes, yes. If you where your feet are, right? You know what I realized? It's hard to get angry, or it's hard to be or live with stress and anxiety if you're where your feet are, right? Because usually when things happen to you in life, they either make you remember the past or they make you look too far in the future. You understand what I'm saying? So it'll make you look at the past. Somebody says something wrong to you, be like, oh, that reminds me of, or something happens to you at work. Oh, I remember when, but when you're where your feet are, every experience is is a new experience. You know what I'm saying? So even if you have a reference point, you use the reference point as wisdom. You don't use that reference point uh, as a reference. You don't use it as, oh my goodness, this happened, so this is gonna happen. No, this happened, so I know how to deal with it this time, and I realize it ain't that serious. This too shall pass, like everything else did. You need to write a book, my friend. You're right, Roger. That I'm gonna call the book. I'm not gonna say the title yet, but I'm gonna call it something. Let me just say grace real quick. Let's go. Uh, but yeah, there's power in being where your feet are. That's my goal. Like, people have different goals, fitness goals. Right now, being where my feet are is my goal. I don't want to, I realize that you can get caught up with paying too much attention to what everyone else is doing until the point where you're not even where your feet are, man. You know what I'm saying? You're not even thinking how you're supposed to be thinking. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I can't afford not to be where my feet are. There's too many things in my life that's hinging on my focus. So that's what I got to do. I got to lock in, baby. What a time to be alive. What a time to be able to just lock into where your feet are. Oh my goodness. You've been working years and years and years to create your current reality. Why not enjoy the fruits of your labor? Why always look ahead to something that You don't even know when it's going to happen. Why not make sure that you're creating your current environment to be suitable to live the life that you're currently living rather than always looking ahead? You know what I realized? When you look too far into what you see on the media, whether it be social media, whether it be um, the news media, it will bring you to a place where you may not be living life, but life may be living you. Deep perspective. Appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Um, Social media, right? That's another thing I'm gonna practice more. Keeping it real, regardless of regardless of how one may take it. You got to keep it 100, right? Social media can do one or two things. It can either elevate you or it can deflate you. Social media can either elevate you or it can deflate you, right? We're talking random topics, so I'm just coming off the dome, right? I also think that having a look forward to inspire you to live in the moment as well. Having a look forward to inspires you to live in the moment as well. Can you explain that for me, Queen's Alchemy? So social media will either elevate you, you'll learn different things that you can learn to implement in your life to make you better, or social media can get in your head and make you think that you should have all these things that you see people have, and it may start to work on your inside to the point where you're like, oh my goodness, I don't have what I need to have. He has this or she has that, right? If you're not careful, what happens is instead of using it as motivation, instead of it making you better, some things can make you bitter because you're like, oh my goodness, I should be doing that. Or, oh my goodness, because there's so much stimulation on social media. So we have to be even careful when we're engaging in something like social media, because if you don't realize it for what it is, you'll make it something that is not. We don't really know what people are going through on social media. I don't care how much money they got. I don't care what kind of car they drive, right? You don't know what people are going through. So you may look at a certain person's life and say, oh my goodness, that's like a great life. You don't know that, right? All you know is what they show you. So that should be something that we're cognizant of. Everybody's going through something, right? Don't look at somebody else's story and compare it to yours as if it's a means to get down on yourself. You can use it as motivation, but let it elevate you. Don't let it deflate you. Let's go. You know what I mean? Let it elevate you. Don't let it deflate you. So when you actually have something to aspire to in the future, it allows you to be present in your right now to be able to get to that place. Is similar to the goals. Yes, Queen. I totally agree with you, right? Um, I totally agree with you. I think when it comes to talk about future, right? I think the talk is very nuanced, right? So this is what I mean by that. There's a difference between setting future goals, right? There's a difference between setting future goals, right? That you're working towards, right? And there's a difference between doing that and always looking ahead to the point where you forget to appreciate the now. Does that make sense? So there's a difference between, like, what you're saying, I think is great. set goals for the future, something to look forward to aspire to, right? But I think where it becomes unhealthy is when we're always in the future and we're never in the now. I'll give you an example, right? I'll give you an example. I was a very future driven person where I have these big goals, right? Make sure I'm not missing your comments. And like a goal, if you have something that you're looking forward to in the future, then it allows you to be present because most goals require you to build towards it every day. I love that, Queen. Queen, that is the cure to the problem that I'm presenting, right? Setting the future goals, right, is beautiful. But like you just said, you have to do it day by day, step by step, which requires you to be where your feet are. What's up, Scout? How you doing, Scout? Great story for goals. That's right. So I think that making future goals is healthy, right? But if you're looking so far in the future, you're not paying attention to the day by day deposit or the daily deposits that it requires to get to that future goal. You understand what I'm saying? So I think definitely set your goals, but make sure that your goals, that if you have a big goal, make sure that you have daily goals so that you can stay in the present. That's what I would say. You understand what I'm saying? If you set big goals and you're only looking to those goals, you're going to miss out on the day-to-day operations. My goal is to buy a computer and be a YouTuber. That's what's up, Scout. So make your daily goals, right? To get to the point where you can buy your computer and be a YouTuber. You know what I'm saying? The daily goals is the fix. Doing those incremental goals to get to the big goals. I'll give you an example, Queen, because I know you talk about work a lot. Like you talk about, having to work a job, right? I'll tell you something that I noticed about working on a job. One thing that I noticed, right, is people will set definitely a difference, correct? This is one thing I noticed about working on a job, right? So jobs usually give you PTO time or paid time off or vacation time, what have you, right? One thing I noticed about people that have vacation time is they will look forward to their vacation all the time, right? So basically, they'll set a vacation up on the calendar, and all they can think about is, I go to vacation in 6 weeks, vacation in 6 weeks. I go to Disney, I go to Italy, I go to wherever in 6 weeks, right? What's going on, Relatable Vids? Hey, we missed you too, Relatable. Sportify, what's up, brother? So they'll set this vacation time in their head, right? So they're thinking about vacation. What they won't do is enjoy the days and the weeks and the months leading up to vacation. It's almost like until they go on vacation, they're not happy until they go on vacation. So I started thinking about that. I'm like, bro, that is the biggest trap in the history of all creation. For you to only think about vacation, and not experience the now, that is crazy. Like, think about it. Your most expensive bill is usually where you live. How are you not enjoying where you live until you go on vacation? You're not enjoying the job at all. You're not enjoying where you live at all until the vacation hits. So you go on vacation, you get that nice relief, you have fun, and before you know it, because your vacation time goes faster than any other time. So before you know it, your vacation's over, you're back to misery again. And that's it, that cycle. You're only happy on vacation. That is looking too far into the future for relief rather than creating a reality that you can live in each and every day. And I think that's what's important. I think that's what's plaguing a lot of people, especially executives, their mental health, because they're only looking toward vacation. They don't enjoy their present. They don't enjoy their current. Sportify says, I'm not able to go to the gym for some days because I'm sick. Yeah, I just told a client, Sportify, if you're sick, take those days off, recover so that you can come back stronger. Don't push it. But I wish you well, brother. But Queen, if you're still here, does that make sense? Some people, you can't just enjoy the job. Yeah, fourth wall. Not every job is enjoyable, right? But this is what I would say. If you truly, truly dislike your job, then I think you should truly, truly make a short-term goal, or it could be a long-term goal, to change the job class. You know, I look at jobs as like a boat. Jobs are like boats, right? You're on the boat. You can build another boat. You always can build another boat. Scout says, what is your daily routine? Daily routine for, can you be a little more specific? Not every job is enjoyable. I'm not going to tell you that. But sometimes you got to do what you got to do until you can do better. If you don't like the job, start working toward another one. Do you go to the gym? Yes, I either work out at the gym or I work out in my home gym. But I don't train every day. I prioritize recovery as well. I'm active every day, but I don't do weight training every day. You know what I mean? But, excuse me, creating another reality is healthy if you don't like your current reality. But you got to just do it day by day. Don't set the goal so big. Or if you set a big goal, remember that the goals are achieved daily. They're not achieved quickly. Mesa, what's going on, Mesa? How you doing? Queen says, this is so real and it creates mental health issues. Queen, listen, it's one of the number one causes of mental health issues is people looking so far in the future that they don't pay attention to the now. You know what I'm saying? Greetings from Paris suburbs. Okay, Mesa, greetings from America in Florida. I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for asking. He said, yes, you're right. I see you. I see you, Scout. Queen says it's not natural to work most of these jobs and hours. Queen, it's not natural at all. It's not natural at all. I actually, I worked for a company, and I was moving up fast in the company. Right, it's 3:40 right now. It's 9:40 a.m. Mason. I worked for the company, and I was moving up fast at a young age. Right, I learned so much about, number one, what I will accept as a person, no matter how much money you're paying me. And I learned about passion. It took for me to lose passion in something for me to learn how important passion really is to the human being. And in working that job over time, I started to realize that over time, the action, this particular job, if you're in some type of management or you're in some type of space like that, they require more and more of you over time, right? So over time, I was like, listen, these cats they want your soul, man. They don't want just a little bit of you. They want your soul. Do you watch soccer? I watch a little bit, Mesa, but I watch American football and basketball. Okay, Scout, man, get some rest, man. Salute to you, brother. So over time, you know what I did, Queen? What I did was, instead of just being upset, right? I have a plan to change my situation. I look forward to the day I retire, and I work towards it daily, including the YouTube journey as part of it. That's what's up. That's lovely, Queen. That's lovely, Queen. Let me tell you what I did, Queen. I think that's lovely. Let me tell you what I did. So instead of just getting rid of the job, right? Did you watch Champion League? Mesa, I didn't. Dynamics, what's up? So instead of just getting rid of the job, this is what I did, Queen. I took a lesser role in the company, but first I got certified in training first, in personal training. I got certified in my passion, right? So what I started to do was I started to train clients around my busy schedule. So I made that sacrifice to start to build my name a little bit, build some clientele, let people see what I'm about, let them see consistency, let them see passion, right? So then once I started to realize, like, hey, I can actually make a career or a business out of this. I took a lesser role in the company that I was at, kept my benefits going and things like that. And then I worked my business on the side, right? Well, that's what's up, Mesa. I worked my business on the side, right? And guess what I did? I kept that job. And as I build more clients, right? As I built my clients, Queen, that lesser role developed into part-time, like you're saying. Right? And all I did was keep, because see, this is the thing. Sometimes when you look at a lot of big time executives, you think that it was cookie cutter. Like, you think they just came out swinging. If you hear some of their stories, they'll tell you, don't quit your job and just go full-time business and you don't know where you're going to eat. Go part-time, go less time, however it works with your particular establishment. And you know what you do? You keep going incrementally. As your business grows, you pull back on that thing. And guess what? You either pull back to the point where you don't need it no more, or you pull back where you just keep this in your back pocket for a peace of mind. So as my business grew, as I started to see some of the thumbprints of, hey, I'm getting consistent clientele. People really dig my approach. They really dig my consistency. You know, they dig that. There you go, Queen. There you go. Once I started seeing that people really dig my personality from a training standpoint, and then, you know, for me, I started to see, okay, you know, God showing me that, hey, this is where you're supposed to be at. This is what you're supposed to be doing. Pull back a little bit on that, open up a little bit on that, boom, boom, boom. And before you knew it, it went from being in a management position, where you have to run these, you know, a lot of mental stress, a lot of demand, to going just as a regular worker, to going part-time, where now you have that balance that you need. Because remember, you know, for me, I can't just only build the business and work. I also have a family. So it just gave me better balance. You know what I mean? It gave me better balance. Muhammad, what up, Ryan? What's up? How you doing, bro? So it gave me better balance, right? So I started to realize that when you're trying to go for your passion and you're trying to go for your purpose, it's not going to look pretty to the masses. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to look pretty to how everyone thinks that it should be, right? It don't matter what it look like. Be where your feet are, right? You don't got to tell everybody what you're doing. Should you give you some advice? What do you mean, Amina? What you mean? Just lost my main account, but immediately subscribed to you. Hey, I appreciate you, Ryan, man. I appreciate you, brother. So how it looks, it don't matter how it looks, right? The goal is to win. Hello. That's the beautiful part about being present. The goal is to win. It's not to make it look pretty to everyone else. It's to win. If you're exercising and you have an exercise goal, it doesn't matter how you get there in terms of which types of exercises that you're doing. It matters that you win. You know, it matters that you win. That's your whole mindset. Everyone's trying to win, right? Am I right or am I right? Every person is trying to win. So we lock into yes, that's what we're talking about, bro. We're talking about a little bit of my story. But the goal is to win, so it doesn't matter what it looks like. People used to ask me, they should be like, bro, you're working over here and then you're leaving here to work on your business? I'm like, yeah. But how do you, I'm like, see, they're trying to figure it out. What they don't know is everybody's built different. I know I'm built different. Everybody's built different. You got to have the mental fortitude to be able to do something, do it well, and move on to the next thing and do it well, and then move on with your day. Everybody can't do that, you know, and I get that. But part of the reason why people can't do that is because they're too much in their head and they're not being where their feet are. They're not embracing the day. They're not realizing that you can't stress what you can't control. Hello. You can't change how people feel about you. Not always. You can't change how people think. The only thing that you can change is how you think and how you deal with others. That's it. And the more you realize that you have less control than you think, the more you'll be free, because you'll stop trying to control things that you can't control. And you'll stop feeling bad about it. Like if somebody don't want to do XYZ and you know it's good for them and they don't want to do it, why are you feeling bad about it? Right? What they drink doesn't make you urinate. Right? Ryan says, true. Everybody built different. You just got to find what works out for you and how you can develop it and be consistent. That's right. That's right. Everybody's different, you know, and I think people have to start embracing their differences. Not weaponizing their differences, but just embracing their differences. Realize that individuality is powerful. Being an individual is powerful. So set a goal, but also realize that the goal gets accomplished with daily deposits, daily steps. Don't look too far to the future. Don't dig too far in the past, but really breathe in the fact that you woke up this morning, you're alive, you have oxygen. Really embrace the day and realize that your best days are ahead of you. You know what I mean? It's like how the Stoics approach life. Just focus on how you react, because you can never control people. You can only control yourself. That's right. You can't control people, right, man? All you can do is lock in on where you are. What are you supposed to be doing? Too many people, you see it in comment sections a lot. Too many people are concerned with what everyone else is doing, to the point where they have stress and anxiety based on something that has nothing to do with them. I was talking to a coworker the other day, and he was talking to me about what he saw on the news. And he was so distraught about something he saw on the news. So I asked him, I said, what are you going to do about what you saw on the news? He said, I can't do anything. I said, okay, how is what you saw on the news going to affect you? Oh, well, what I saw on the news is going to affect me because we live in this country. I said, yes, but how is it going to affect you directly? I'm not saying you can't care about things that don't affect you. That's not what I'm saying. But I asked him, how is it going to affect you directly? He had no answer for how it was going to affect him directly. So I said, bro, why do you come to work stressing about things that you can't control? It doesn't affect you directly. And you have no thought pattern on trying to help make it better. He kind of got a little uncomfortable with that. But he tells me every day about something, every day I see him anyways, about something happening on the news that has nothing to do with him. He's not even trying to fix it. So why are we even talking about it? You know why? Because his mind is so wrapped on something that's not even here or not even happening. He puts it in his head, he thinks it, and now he's obsessed with something that he has no plan to change. He says he has no power to change. He's literally just running himself crazy. So you know what I said? I said, you know what? Everybody's different, right? But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make sure that when someone wants to live like that they're not projecting it on me. Hello. I don't want them to project it on me. If you want to watch all that stuff and be upset and that's okay. Godspeed, brother. But I'm not going to let you bring that to me and dump it on me because I don't feel like that. He's just wasting energy on something that's not worth it. Muhammad, listen, if you tell him that, he's going to think you cursed him out. Real talk. I don't watch the news, and I ask that no one tells me anything. I don't want to know. Listen, I listen to enough to be informed. So I don't watch the news per se, but I listen to enough to be informed because I got a family. But I am not binge watching on all of this stuff on TV that's giving me bad news of things that only they want to report on. Because they pick and choose what they want to report on. I'm not doing it. I'm not about to be sitting there letting them inject all this stuff into my mind. Because guess what? I don't want to be injected with stuff that you choose to inject me with. I'd rather be where my feet are. I'd rather control the controllables. And the things that I cannot control, I rather focus on having the wisdom to know the difference between what I can control and what I can't control. What I can't control, I can't control it. So there's no point of wasting mental real estate on things that I can't control. What I can control, I'm gonna lock in on that. I'm gonna focus on that. I'm gonna realize that it's something I can fix. I'm gonna realize I got great opportunity. I'm gonna realize that it's just a great opportunity to get better. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not about to binge on nothing that's not serving me. Exactly. Feeding your energy negative. Correct, Queen. Create your own reality. Correct. And part of creating your own reality, in my opinion, is being where your feet are. Okay? Enjoy the journey. Okay? Do you know how many rich people can recall a time that they were having the most fun in their life? Let me break it. A lot of rich people were having the most fun while they were creating wealth, not when they actually got wealthy. If that ain't a bar. A lot of rich people enjoyed the climb more than they enjoyed the actual mountaintop. They enjoyed climbing the mountain more than getting to the mountain. Why is that, guys? You know why? Why do you guys think that is? Why do rich people enjoy the climb more than they enjoy actually getting to the mountaintop? What do you guys think? And to be honest, I think it's similar for us too. But why do you guys think that is? Why do people enjoy building more so than when the building is finished? I'll tell you my opinion. I just want to read y'all's first. In my opinion, people enjoy the climb more than they enjoy reaching the mountaintop because there's thrill in building, and you don't get that same thrill when you get to the top. The top is never what you thought it would be. It's like the saying here in our culture, enjoy the journey before you arrive. That's right. That's right. The journey is always more interesting than the arrival. Don't believe me? Think about when you're just dating in a relationship. Y'all don't remember that euphoric feeling y'all felt? You know, when you're dating somebody, the feeling's a little bit different when you're dating than when you actually come to be. This is why healthy relationships continue dating. Healthy relationships continue dating. Because if not, if there's no pursuit, if there's no journey, you just have a mundane relationship that's probably ain't gonna last when the kids get older. You know what I'm saying? So it goes back to look forward to. Once it's here, it feels different once it happens. That's correct. So, Queen, why not enjoy the daily incremental steps? Why not be where your feet are? Set your goals, put the daily deposits in for the goals, and be in love with the journey, man. The more I lock into the journey, the more beautiful it gets. The more I lock into the journey, the more beautiful life becomes. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? You know what's crazy? Once you reach that mountain, guess what happens, guys? You guessed it. There's another mountain when you get to that one. Once you reach the mountaintop, once you reach the reality that you were looking to build, there's going to be another desire, there's going to be another mountain there, and there's going to be another hill to climb. So you're going to be back at square one. So why not enjoy the journey? You could tell because when people make money, right? It's only a matter of time for they're like, oh my goodness, I reached my money goal. Let me set a new goal. Well, oh my goodness, I reached my credit goal. Let me set a new credit goal, right? If we're only looking for the actual manifestation of the goal, we won't enjoy the days in between. And before you know it, we'll be too old to enjoy it, guys. You got to enjoy the now. You got to enjoy the journey on the way to your goals. Don't just only say, I'm only going to be happy till I get my goals. I'm only going to be happy till I do this. You're shortening your creativity, you're shortening your tolerance, and you're shortening your joy, guys. Because you're setting limits on when you'll be happier, when you'll be fulfilled. You know what I mean? So the journey is very important when it comes to where you're going and how you're going. I have people that I know that are wealthy, right? And one thing I notice about wealthy people is they're never at rest. Their mind is always looking like it's kind of crazy how they're wired. They're wired very similarly. Almost like, I won't say robotic, but maybe kind of robotic. Like it's like their mind is thinking about money all the time. Even when they're not thinking about business, they're thinking about investing. Like it's it's an obsession. It's a never-ending obsession. So I started to realize, I'm like, oh my goodness, they got more money than me, but I got more peace, man. And what price can you put on peace? I don't think you can put a price tag on peace. How much money would any of you guys accept? How much money would you accept in exchange for peace? Would anybody give away their peace for money? Anybody? Would anybody say, if somebody came to you and said, hey, I'm going to take all your peace, but you can have this amount, you can have $500 million, but you're not going to have any peace. Would anybody take that deal? I'm going to give you $500 million, but I'm going to take away all your peace. Would anybody exchange their peace for $500 million? Because if you exchange your peace for 500 million, aren't you getting the 500 million so that you can get peace? More money, more peace, right? I would rather have my time and my peace than money. There you go. Because if you have money, queen, with no peace, that defeats the purpose of having money. This is why I don't pray to be rich. I pray to get the portion that I should have, that I'm destined to have. I don't want too much that I forget about who I am as a person, that I forget about God, but I don't want too little where I'm struggling. Give me my portion. That's what I want. You know what I'm saying? So I think when we're goal setting, I think that it's very important that we start to take incremental steps, realizing that it's a journey, realizing that the journey is not for the swift, but for those that can endure to the end. You've seen who won the race out of the tortoise and the hare. It was the one that could last through the end because they were maintaining themselves throughout the process. Right? Don't run yourself in the ground where you can't maintain, to the point where when you get to the actual goal, you don't have any energy to even put out what you set to do in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Your mental space, your mental real estate, your virtue, your joy, your peace, all those things are incredible goals that people don't really put an emphasis on because they can't see them. The most important goals are the ones you can't see. Yes, the house is not the most important goal. Okay. The car is not the most important goal. The peace, the mental real estate, the confidence, the identity, okay, the ability to focus, overcoming depression, overcoming anxiety, those things are more important than tangible assets. those things are more important than things that you can touch. So I think in terms of goal setting, we don't put enough emphasis on setting goals that empower us internally more so than we put on the goals external. That's what wholeness is all about, y'all. Working on the inside as well as the outside. Does anybody have any questions about goal setting for me? I'm no genius, but I know a thing or two. If you have any questions, drop a Q before your question about goal setting, and I'll be sure to answer it. So we got 60% of the people say that they set goals, 30% say here and there, and 10% say no. Well, for those that set goals, the only thing that I would say is enjoy the climb. Enjoy the climb of your goal setting. Okay? Don't rush the process without enjoying the climb. That's what I would say. For those that say here and there for your goal setting, the only piece of advice I would give for those that do it here and there is, are you completing your here and there goals? Or is it here and there because you drop it, you pick it up, you drop it, you pick it up? I would say focus on being more focused on where your feet are. Focus on the controllables, controlling the controllables, and not spending too much time and energy on things that you cannot control. And for those that say no, that they don't set goals, I would say maybe take a break on some of the things that you're heavily involved in and really sit back and think, what do I want to do? What makes me feel alive? What are things that I'm passionate about? And I would start to really, really focus and lock in on those things that you feel passionate about, that make you feel alive. And when you do that, guess what's going to happen? You're going to start setting goals. You're going to start feeling better. You're going to start looking better. You're going to start shining better. And I mean, man, it's just going to be up from there. It's the beautiful part about life. You change your perspective, you could change your life. You change your perspective, you could change your life, y'all. Saeed, what's up, brother? How you doing, my brother? I'm doing pretty good, man. I set a monthly goal, and I'm feeling good about it. I'm feeling really, really good about it. And you know the distractions are going to come while you're setting your goals, guys. But I'll tell you what, if you set a goal and a whole bunch of things are coming to distract you from that goal, you know what that means? That means you're doing something right. Keep going. Resistance only comes when you're pushing in the other direction. So don't allow it to make you feel fearful. Don't allow it to discourage you. Realize that if you're doing something right, you're always going to be met with resistance. That's just how the game goes. Hey, Saeed, man, I'm happy to hear that, bro. I'm happy to hear that. So I'm focused on controlling the controllables. If anybody wants to join this challenge with me for the month of September, where we're just going to focus on being where our feet are. We're not going to look too far in the past, and we're not going to only look in the future. We're going to take steps day by day, daily deposits to get better for our future. But the focus is not the future alone. The focus is being where our feet are so that we can make every day count. Not for everybody else, but make the day count for you and yours. That's what it's all about, guys. That's what it's all about. So if you have any life coaching questions, for those that don't know, I'm a life coach as well. Drop a Q before your question, and I'll be sure to answer it. If you have any life coaching questions, listen, this is your moment. Take advantage. It's free. I'm not selling nothing. But any life or goal questions, I'm going to help y'all out today for the next couple minutes before I got to go become a productive human being. I mean, I'm being productive right now. I'm being productive right now. I'm talking to the world. Yeah, bro. The reason that most of us are distracted is because we can't leave it behind. We can't leave it behind. Yes. You mean meaning that we can't just let it go and move forward? I agree with that. I agree with that. Yes. Trauma tries to remind you every day about the situation. But healing uses the situation as a boost and not a breaker. So we have to start to learn how to look at our past situations as number one, I can't control what happened. I can't change what happened. The only thing I can change is what I do today and from here on out. That's literally the only thing I can change. I can't change what happened in the past. I can't fix it in terms of what actually happened. All I can do is heal forward for my future. I can make a decision and say, you know what? I need to heal. What happened to me, I'm not going to let it continue to hold me back. And people come to that point at different points in their life. Everybody's different. I get that. But when you get to that point, then you realize I'm tired of allowing my past to control me. Because when things happen to us, guys, when trauma happens to us, it not only happens to us in the moment, it also happens to us as long as we carry that with us. If we keep carrying those traumas with us, the event keeps happening over and over again. So I always say it's healthy to heal because hurt people, but healed people heal people. And I think it's important that we all try to find some healing so that we can have joy in life. We can have peace in life. I think those are important. Joy and peace is more important than biceps. Because guess what? If you have biceps with no joy and peace, you just got biceps. If you got joy and peace, now you can go get some biceps because you got joy and peace. Hello. You know what I'm saying? So realize we're going to control what we can control today. The whole month of September, that's what we're sticking with. Control the controllables. If I can't control it, I'm going to ask myself that question. When something happens to me today, I'm going to say, can I control it or can I not control it? If it's controllable, I'm going to focus on it. I'm going to work on it. I'm going to put time and energy to it. If it's not controllable, I'm going to throw it away. I'm going to leave it in God's hands and I'm going to move on. Why? Because I can't control it. That's what the whole month of September, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And I'm going to see how my mental capacity responds. I'm going to see how my thinking responds. But I hope you guys would join with me in trying to recapture and recalibrate our mental real estate. We need our mental real estate to be intact so that we can be whole people. So I challenge everybody this month, September, be where your feet are. All right. And remember that you owe it to you to be where your feet are. Let's see, bro. I was preparing for martial art, but unfortunately, I tore my ACL. So I did a surgical operation. Since that time, I couldn't come over my adversity. Then scrolling on YouTube. I see your content. Man, Saeed, man, that's huge, man. I'm glad that you were inspired by my content. Saeed, I had an injury as well, Saeed, 2 years ago that I had to get surgery for too, playing sports. So I understand the toll that having an injury while playing sports because it really had me down. So Saeed, I just want to encourage you. I appreciate you coming through, and I appreciate you commenting. I want to encourage you to realize that don't be down on yourself. Some things are not avoidable. Some things just happen. It's called life, right? So don't get down on yourself. Realize that the comeback is going to be much greater than the setback. Lock in on your rehab, lock in on your nutrition, lock in on your goals, and get to it one day at a time. And boy, oh boy, you're going to be great because of that thing that happened in your life. You see, sometimes things happen in your life to make you better. So don't get bitter, get better. I appreciate you, Saeed. That's what it's all about. Things happen in life, guys. Life is not perfectly cookie cutter. But the beautiful part is when you can go through something and you can grow through something. Hello. When you can go through something, but not just go through something, grow through something. We want to go through, but we want to grow through. Thanks, man. Yeah, aside the physical pain and the mental pain was way ahead of that. Yeah, man, that's what's up, bro. Yeah, it's tough, man. I had a bad injury myself, but um, I was playing basketball the other day. So even though it feels like it'll never go away, it'll never get better, it's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. As long as you don't quit, it's gonna get better. But listen, man, I appreciate all of you guys. Saeed, man, I appreciate you too, bro. Um, I appreciate all you guys. Okay, have you ever tried a professional match in basketball? Not professional. I played against college people, but I never took it professional, bro. Um, wish I had stayed. Wish I had played long enough to do so. Wish I had played long enough, but I still enjoy it. Matter of fact, Saeed, do me a favor. I have a video of me playing against my nephew. Check out the video of me playing against my nephew and leave me a comment. Tell me what you think about the video, man. Check the video out of Unc versus nephew. That was my first one-on-one game. That was my first one-on-one game in about 2 years. Yeah, check it out. Leave me a comment, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, man. Also, Saeed, if you like what we talk about, man, consider joining the Discord. It's free. We just chop it up, talk about food, talk about faith, talk about family. But yeah, man, check the video out. I appreciate you guys. Much love from this side. And remember, guys, the whole month of September, we're locking in and we're being where our feet are. Not looking too far, not to the left, not looking too far to the right, but continuing to look up. Appreciate you, Saeed. Let's go. So remember, no matter what you're going through, no matter how you feel, look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, let's go, let's grow. Much love. I see y'all on the next one. Salute. Much love, Saeed.